Welcome back, everyone. Lauren McLaughlin and Dominic Catalano here at the APP Boca Raton Masters Tournament in Boca Raton, Florida, here at the Patch Reef Tennis and Pickleball Center. We have a men's pro singles match coming up right now. Our number 2 seed, J.W. Johnson, will be on the far end. Our number 3 seed, John Cincola, on the near end. This is a men's semifinal matchup. Cincola will start us off serving. Just long, and Joanna Corker is our USA Pickleball certified referee for this match.
Nice ball down the line there from J.W. Johnson, just out of the reach of John Cincola's long wingspan. That's what John does really well, is gets to the kitchen line and uses his length to his advantage.
Both of these gentlemen coming off podium spots last weekend in Mesa. John Cincola with his first gold medal in men's pro singles. J.W. Johnson took the bronze medal. One of them will head to the winner bracket final after this. One will drop to the consolation bracket and hope to battle their way back into that bronze.
I saw a nice post from Tyson McGuffin after the John Cincola victory, and he posted, that's his point. Nice finish from Johnson, but McGuffin congratulating Cincola on his victory and said the last pro title for someone over 40 was Marcin Rispetsky. It was a great stat given by Tyson McGuffin.
Wow.
And John Cincola, again, over 40.
41.
41.
So just barely.
But the last pro singles title for someone over 40 was Marcin Rispetsky.
Cincola had to beat J.W. Johnson 2 times last weekend on his way to that gold medal match. Let's see if he can keep the streak going.
Oh, and Cincola. Ooh.
It's just a little long.
Yeah. That's a nice attempt at a deep serve there. Kicked over the paddle of Johnson. Nice ball from J.W. Johnson on the counter with the big forehand cross court. Watch him take a swing at this, actually put that ball away. The hands battle won by Johnson.
Good quick reflexes from both these guys. You'll notice J.W. Johnson also has kind of a pinch spin serve like sister Georgia Johnson that he will use not every time, but a good amount of the time. And John Cincola kind of rests that ball on his paddle just to get a good grip and then takes it off the paddle, spins with that left hand very effectively. Talked to him in Mesa last weekend about how he's really been working on that serve, and it certainly shows. Just missed that back corner. Again, our other semifinal match will be Jack Foster taking on Zane Navratil here in our men's bracket.
Great hold by Cincola as he almost waited for Johnson to commit here. Watch him hold this last second, pull across, and he did. He waited for Johnson to make a move to his left before he went right.
Oh, beautiful. You'll notice John Cincola loves to run around to be able to hit his forehand versus the backhand, which is, of course, easier, but he loves that forehand. So you'll see him do that a lot where he runs around it.
Good finish from Johnson. But yeah, like you said, Lauren, he'll hit that, but loves to hit that inside out from the backhand side, but hits a forehand inside out on that left side.
Little net cord there from Johnson. Cincola's not able to recover.
When that ball floats on Cincola, I don't think he thought it was going to get to him. I think he thought it was going to bounce. He was going to be able to let it bounce, and that ball just kept going. And it kind of fooled him a little bit, and it's a point for Johnson as he doubles up Cincola here in game number 1, 6-3.
We have a timeout called by John Cincola as a result. And we were talking to Cincola before the bracket kicked off this morning, just about his big win last weekend and kind of what he has been working on. And he said a lot of that is sort of mental training, where he is sort of working with a sports psychiatrist that he does gives lessons to, and she's kind of been helping him with some breathing exercises, some reset exercises. So definitely saw him focusing on that a lot more in Mesa. Definitely seemed to do him good. So we talk a lot about how much that mental aspect of the game is so crucial beyond just having, you know, the physical skills. So we'll see if that can help Cincola here. He's trying to move to that winner bracket final, or if J.W. Johnson will get a little payback from last weekend.
Just long there from Johnson. Great ball there from Cincola. Again, the inside out forehand.
John Cincola has been a tennis teaching pro for many years and now teaches pickleball as well. Recently moved to the Lake Geneva, Wisconsin area to teach. Was in the Crystal Lake, Illinois area. I believe he still lives there, but now teaching in Lake Geneva area. 7-4. A little short on that lob attempt from Cincola. You can see he's a little frustrated with his attempt at that shot. A little high as well.
A good finish there from J.W. Johnson coming in, taking that ball out of the air.
And again, we do have a pretty good sized crowd here on Championship Court. They're just mostly in the bleachers on the sides of the court under the shaded structures that you can't see on camera. But good amount of people here watching.
Yeah, and they're watching J.W. Johnson with a game point here on his paddle in game number 1. That's a good ball there from Cincola, and it almost is like he had Johnson lean into that backhand side because he's gone inside out a few times and leaves that forehand side open. Cincola needs about 3 or 4 more of those to get in this. And there's one right on cue with the inside out.
Ran around to take that forehand, you can see here. Kind of runs around. Gets really off that side of the court. Be able to take that forehand. Really gives him a good angle for that beautiful drop.
And Cincola had to guess one way or the other right there. He guessed middle, and Johnson goes to the sideline. Johnson will have another game point here.
Great pickup from Johnson, but then John Cincola with the answer here.
Again, watch him hold this on his paddle, almost make Johnson commit. And he does. Johnson commits to the right foot. And Cincola pulls it back left foot. So here's the issue is Johnson, he can't guess to the inside outside because then it leaves it wide open. So he's just got to read a little better. And what I mean is he just got to see Cincola open up to go to that side. Timeout here maybe from Johnson.
I know we have been frustrated in the past with J.W. Johnson's lack of timeouts when we feel like it would be a good time to do so. Certainly, I think in these past few rallies would be a good time. Now, especially with that error.
Yeah.
But
nothing.
He's going to be stubborn. He's going to ride it out here. Cincola looking to tie it up here. Oh, and he does. What a run right now.
So the timeout here from Johnson now, and I would have liked to see it 2-3 points ago, but he doesn't, and it's a tie ball game. But, you know, again, Lauren, you talked about the mental side of things, right? And there were times where we would see John playing, you know, and he'd get down that 5-10, and it'd almost be like, okay, let's play for the next game. Right now, he doesn't. He focuses in, says, okay, I'm going to grind right here and see what I can get. And now all of a sudden it's 10-10. And I love how you talk about that and lead that in. And I saw a guy speak 2 weeks ago, a guy named Josh Kozik, and he is the mental performance coordinator for the Tampa Bay Rays. I went to see him speak 2 weeks ago down in Sarasota, Florida. And it's just amazing, you know, and everybody's, oh, you know, pickleball, what do you need? You know, this is where the sport's going, right? And so you need those kind of coaches. You need that focus. And look at what it's doing. It's paying dividends already here for John in that right there. He doesn't give up. He fights. And now it's 10-10 in game 1.
Yeah, definitely a really great start to 2022 for John Cincola. Really kind of stepping up his game and realizing that you need that well-rounded balance.
Oh. Nice hands there from Cincola. You're right, Lauren. You need that balance. You got to have that balance. You can't be, you know, up and down.
Ooh, mess hit there. And that's the thing is, without naming names, we see those players. We see players that they have wild swings of when they're playing great, they're great. When they're playing down, it's kind of, you know, falling apart disaster time. And definitely something everybody who's sort of looking to play at the elite level needs to focus on.
Well, yeah, and John would self-admit that he was that guy. He was that kind of player, you know. When John was hot, he's hot, you know, and when he was down, he was down. And if he can find that balance, that's, you know, just going to be incredible for him, and he's finding that balance right now. I love to see it.
It's going to be long, and John Cincola
comes back from down 10-5.
Yeah, he looked like definitely wasn't going to take this first game, but way to just stay strong and in it, and he gets the job done. J.W. Johnson definitely going to have to make some adjustments here going into game 2. We'll take a short break and be back with that action here in the semifinal game right after this. Welcome back to Championship Court. Lauren McLaughlin and Dominic Catalano Catalano? Who's that?
Who's that guy?
Who's that guy?
Was he with you last weekend?
He's been some rando. All right, game 2 underway here in our men's pro singles semifinal match. John Cincola on the far end, J.W. Johnson on the near end, and what a nice first rally
J.W.
to kick us
Johnson
off.
just fired up after that point. Totally kidding, but
What if he just like let out the biggest like come on and fist pump? I would fall out of my chair.
I would
fall
too.
out of my chair.
Yeah.
He's trying to let his play do the talking. And so far here, out to a quick 2-point lead.
Playing with that carbon paddle. Oh, great ball down the line for J.W. Johnson as he runs through this forehand.
Of course, this is the start that we kind of saw in game 1 as well. J.W. Johnson coming out strong, getting that lead, but then just kind of wasn't able to hang on to it. Didn't take those timeouts, maybe early enough to try and slow Cincola down. We'll see how the second game plays out. Johnson, he looks dialed in. He looks dialed in here in game 2.
Yeah, he found it right away here in game number 2, and Cincola feels that, calls a timeout here. Johnson rattles off 4 straight to start game number 2. So a spot in the winner's bracket final at stake, where one of these gentlemen will face off against either Jack Foster or Zane Navratil, who are playing on championship court number 2 right now as we speak. And we have the women's winner bracket final coming up next with Andrea Coop and J.W. Johnson's younger sister, Georgia Johnson.
That'll be quite a fabulous match. Andrea Coop dips her toe into the waters of singles every now and then. Usually does pretty good, so I think a lot of people wonder why she doesn't play singles more, but it's a grind. It's a lot harder on your body than doubles, so.
Good.
All right, J.W. Johnson just keeps rolling here, coming in from this timeout.
You hear Cincola after Johnson hits that shot. He's like, just too good right there. That's good ball from Cincola. And you watch him block that ball, and what he does, he gets on top of it and gets it down at Johnson's feet and doesn't just block it without a purpose. Oh, what a ball there from Cincola. Wait, was that in?
I think it caught the line.
I think it did. Yes, it did. That's a great ball from Cincola cross court. Such good reach from J.W. Johnson. He does that as well as anybody in the game, is not let that ball bounce in the kitchen, especially in singles, to not let your opponent set up. He takes that ball out of the air and forces the action. Oh, no.
Gets the rollover, but with the backspin, as soon as it lands, kind of goes right up into that net. No way Cincola can get a paddle on that. 6-1.
God, really? What are you doing?
Cincola digging himself another hole here in game number 2.
7-1.
Just trying to do a little too much right there, and Cincola going to burn his second time out here, down 8-1.
J.W. Johnson. Of course, you know, we talk ad nauseum about how he's very calm, very stoic, not a lot of emotion one way or the other out of him. But I think you can tell in his playing, you can tell he wasn't happy, obviously, with how game 1 finished up. He had a lead, you know, thought it was going that way, and then Cincola comes roaring back, and you can tell Johnson, he's being very aggressive here in game 2, very offensive. Really, I feel like you can tell in his style of play versus his emotion, how he's feeling about it. He knows, you know, he's got to dial it up a notch here in game 2 to get to that third tiebreaker game and try and get into that winner bracket final. So I think you're certainly seeing him take it up a level here after game 1 finished the way that it did.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, his emotionlessness plays to his advantage here. Good drop there from Cincola. Changing it up a little, going third shot drop instead of drive.
It's going to be wide from Cincola. Again, Cincola, some work to do here in game 2.
John just trying to make something happen right there. Unfortunately, that's not the ball you want to do it on.
John Cincola almost comes out of his Nikes on that one.
Almost lost his shoe, paddle, everything out. What? Wait. Oh, yeah. All right, good shot, J-Dub.
Johnson on 8 here for quite a few rounds, but all he needed was for me to mention it.
Right.
And he's like, all right, on to that 9th point.
Almost looked like Cincola gave up on that ball a little bit and thought it might carry wide, well inside the sideline.
Cincola usually has a lot of success at the net with that cat and mouse game, kind of blocking drives coming at him. Just the execution is a little off here in game 2.
It's a big answer here from J.W. Johnson.
And that is going to go long on the serve return. So game 3 indeed coming our way here in the semifinal matchup in our men's pro singles bracket. J.W. Johnson taking game 2 11-2. We'll take a short break and be back with the conclusion of the semifinal match right after this. Welcome back. Game 3 kicking off right now. John Cincola on the near end, J.W. Johnson on the far end. Both of these men battling it out to get a place in the winner bracket final where they will take on either Jack Foster or Zane Navertil. Our players will switch ends at 6 here in this game 3 tiebreaker. John Cincola with a big comeback in game 1, able to overtake J.W. Johnson 12-10. But Johnson makes those adjustments, comes out all cylinders firing in game 2, taking that 11-2. Now let's see if Cincola has an answer as well here in game 3.
Cincola gets there, just not able to do much with that, unfortunately. But a great little cat-mouse game up at the kitchen line from both of these gentlemen. great cut there from J.W. Johnson. Again, when he gets that ball up, he'll try and cut that ball down into the kitchen. Try and force his opponent to come and try and hit that on the run.
It's going to be just wide. John Cincola playing with that Engage paddle. As you mentioned, J.W. Johnson with the Carbon paddle. A lot of people ask what players are using.
Wow, that was a great return from Johnson, but a better third shot drive from Cincola. I mean, both of those players keeping that ball as low as they possibly can.
Really nice effort from Cincola. He guesses right. Oh, he guesses right, and he even says, "No, you're there."
Yeah, he was in the right position, but I don't even think he expected it to be there. Ball almost trickling over the tape right there for Johnson, but Cincola out to the quick start in game number 3 after Johnson took game 1 and 2 with his quick starts. Cincola had to battle back down 10-5 in game number 1. But 1 point away here from an end change for John Cincola, up 5-0.
Again, really just shows, we talk about it so much in pickleball, the swings and momentum, how each game can be wildly different within a match. I mean, the score clearly so close in game 1. Again, Cincola did have to come from behind, but Johnson in complete control in game 2, and now Cincola dominating here in game 3. We'll see if he can continue, of course, that domination here after the end change.
Yeah, John clicking on all cylinders at the moment right now, up 6-0, wanting to continue that momentum. He is on court ready. He walked, got his towel, walked right back on court, and he wants to go.
All right, our players are indeed ready to go.
And good ball there from Johnson as he needed that free timeout in between on the end change right there. Let's see if he can get on the board here.
And he does. And we should mention as well, there is obviously wind has been a factor today so far, but it does seem this match especially that whoever has been on the near end has come out on top. So we'll see if that still rings true, if Johnson able to make some difference here.
Some great balls by both players right there. Again, keeping that ball so low to the net, making the next ball unattackable.
6-1.
Nice deep return there from Johnson, and then gets himself up to that net. And after Cincola was well off the court in that back corner, gives him a lot of space to work with on that next shot.
There.
A nice little cat and mouse exchange at the net.
2-6.
Ooh.
Oh, Oh, Cincola trying to go back cross court and can't get it, and a timeout here from John Cincola as he is still up by 3 here, but sensing a little run here from J.W. Johnson in game number 3. Calls that timeout. A good timeout here from Cincola. So he does not want J.W. Johnson to get any closer here in this third game. Again, we will get you all the way through our winners bracket final, the consolation side up to the bronze medal match, and we will call it a day on the men's and women's side and hold those matches till Championship Sunday this weekend here at the APP Boca Raton Masters, part of the National Championship Series for USA Pickleball.
Indeed, indeed.
15 seconds.
The road to Indian Wells. We are starting today. We got months until then, but the road starts here.
3-6.
All right, in from our timeout. Johnson 3-6 here in game 3.
I think John changed his mind last second what he wanted to do. It looked like he was committed to go cross court, and then at the last second tried to flip down the line.
Are you serious right now?
Definitely some frustration showing here for John Cincola with
5-6.
this handful of errors here. Again, was dominating on the other end, but now since the end change, Johnson has gained a lot of momentum back. Almost tied it up.
Yeah, game of runs. 6-0 run from Cincola, 5-0 run from Johnson.
Yeah, come on.
Great hold again on the paddle from John Cincola. Watch him not commit early.
Yep.
Let this bounce, set his feet. Johnson gets frozen in the middle.
Really nice spot there from Johnson.
There's not many better than J.W. Johnson at taking that ball out of the air and forcing the action.
Coming up next after this match, we have our women's winner bracket final, which will be Georgia Johnson taking on Andrea Koop. So that is coming up next after this.
Are you kidding me?
You can see with that, you know, paddle drop from Cincola, he just seems to, you know, not know what the answer is to these errors that he's making.
7-7.
Tied up at 7 now. His big lead gone.
No. Time out.
And Cincola will burn his second and final timeout as J.W. Johnson on an 8-1 run here after the end change. And it is all Johnson in this third game right now after it seemed like it was all Cincola early.
It does seem like perhaps the sun is a bit of a factor, wind is a bit of a factor. Does seem like, at least in this match, whoever has been on this near end is going on a little bit more of a run. But again, J.W. Johnson just on court, ready to go. Wants to keep things rolling here on his way to hopefully that winner bracket final.
15 seconds. Receiver, you're out. Timeouts. Server, you're
John
out.
Cincola, I think at this point it's really just a matter of those errors being eliminated
7.
that he's made a few too many of here in this third game.
Johnson laughing at himself, hitting that serve long.
7-8.
That's
Gonna be just
just wide. Oh. We're opposite that side, so it's kind of hard to see that ball, but
8-7.
A little high there from Cincola. Johnson able to just put that ball away on the backhand side. As these boys trade side outs here.
Just both of these players, just some of the most beautiful passing shots.
9-7.
Put away from
Cincola.
Johnson will give him a match point here after being down 6-0, a 10-1 run.
10-7.
So Johnson with a little payback from last weekend when Cincola beat him twice. At least one of those scores has been settled now. So J.W. Johnson heads to that winner bracket final where he'll take on either Zane Navratil or Jack Foster. And again, our women's winner bracket final coming up next. Andrea Koop taking on Georgia Johnson. And I am getting word from our production team. We are actually going to take our stream down momentarily before we get into the action in our winner bracket final matches. So stay tuned. We will be coming back up momentarily. Don't go anywhere. Just look for that new live video to come up shortly, but we will take our stream down very briefly and then just make sure to pop on over to the new live stream that comes back up here in just a couple minutes, and we'll be back with that women's winner bracket final right after that.